Hi guys, hello, hello, hola, hola, ¿cómo estamos? Welcome everyone to Ewita Travels. Today, so we do it on Sunday, as last time was on Wednesday, but we're back on Sunday and on Sunday schedule. How are you? How are you doing? I hope you're doing very well, and I hope that hi. Oh, so nice. Nice people coming here. Hello. Bueno, hi. Okay, a little bit in Spanish as always. I have to. Hola, mis queridos, ¿cómo estamos? Bueno, ahí veo de Tommy por acá, de mi gente. Bueno, ¿cómo estamos? Cómo están ustedes? ¿Cómo está su fin de? ¿Cómo está todo? Espero que bien. Que mi fin de ya está terminando, pero para algunos ya recién arranca el domingo. Okay, guys, so today Ewita Travel is going to a country which is, I love your heart, thank you. Okay, Ewita Travels map. I don't know how you're doing. Can someone write me down? Are you okay? Are you not okay? Everything healthy? Everyone healthy? Everyone is fine? Hope so. Guys, okay, hold on. But I'm waiting for someone comment. Just come on, write me something, guys, please. Ewita Travels map. So today we are going back to America's continents. And all okay. Well, thank you. Guys, okay. So as all you know, blue dot here, Poland. Tick. And we are going to ticky 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 here. Canada. Today we are going to Canada. We have been to USA, so of course you could miss Canada right now, guys. Emma's watching. Oh my god. Please, all the kisses and all the hugs and all the things for your beautiful baby. We all love Emma. Emma was the baby who was participating in Ewita Travels episode of Poland. So, yeah, amazing. This is our baby as well. This is our crew baby here. Guys, okay, so we're going to Canada today. And actually, I'm very excited because I haven't been there. I've been there one day. Doesn't really count. So actually, I'm super excited to hear all the stuff about Canada. And of course, we're going to talk to my dear friend, Canadian friend. And he is actually, guys, this is something very nice. He works with immigrants. He helps immigrants to work out, like, whenever you get there. You know, I feel it's so nice that he helps immigrants, that he works with people, with all the human rights and stuff. This is actually super nice. And I'm very happy to welcome here my guest, Cesar! Okay, hold on. I'm inviting you here. Tinky, tinky, tinky. Okay. Tin, tin, tin. Tin, tin, tin. I love when you're sending here. Ah, hi, how are you? Hi, Cesar, how are
Pretty good.
you?
I'm well. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Well, welcome to Ewita. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you well. Yeah.
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
So, yes, I can hear you. So, welcome to Ewita Travels, and okay, no, I'm just checking by the time the comments. Yes, my trip. As I mentioned, I've been one day in Canada. And yeah, everyone knows the story, but never mind. So thank you so much for participating in Ewita Travels. And
No, thank you for having me.
no, please, it's an honor for us. We want to know all the stories, and as well, like I'm extremely excited because as I said, I've been there like one day, you know, but never mind. So yeah, I want to know everything. I want to hear everything what you can say about Canada. Okay, so if you would have to say, let's start. If you would have to say something to a person who've never been there, who don't really know stuff about Canada, what would you say?
Well, I guess a typical thing, first thing Canadians tell other people, or warn other people about Canada is it's a cold country. So most people who come here, I suppose maybe if you're from, Poland or countries like that, it's not really, that much different.
But they think it's like always winter there? That's what they think?
Yeah,
like always snow, minus 40?
Yeah.
But you do have guys as well, this kind of weather a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, and I think Canadians are just used to talking to Americans about that type of thing. Warning them. It's colder here. There's a lot of snow. And today's a perfect day that that we're doing this because yesterday it was near +20, and today we have a snowstorm. So,
Guys, no, this is, are you kidding me? Really? I mean, Ada told me a little bit. Ada,
yeah,
again, who was she is our common friend. She was in our Polish episode. I'm just saying
yeah,
for people who a little bit, get up the, make like to remember the stuff. That this is happening. Like you have like super sunny, almost summer, and then
yeah,
it's winter. Like, is it really
yeah.
completely normal to have it like this? The
Turn
weather?
on a dime. Well, typically, like in the fall and the spring, we have a lot of unpredictability like that. So it's the spring now,
So you
right?
kind of,
So it's
you kind
April,
of need to have
May.
two, so you kind of need to have two bags. One bag is like winter
Yeah,
clothes, one of like a sunscreen, just in case.
yeah, yeah.
No,
You have
seriously,
to
you
be
kind
ready.
of need to prepare. You kind of need to be prepared for everything. Is it
Yeah,
really
you have
like
to be
this?
ready. Yeah, you have to be ready for everything. But it still
This is
shocks
so
us for
funny.
some reason. It still shocks us for some reason because yesterday we went out for a walk downtown and it was beautiful. Everybody was out. We were enjoying the weather. It was nice and warm. I was wearing shorts. And then I wake up this morning, there's like, 20 centimeters of snow on the ground. So,
No, guys, this is, I don't know, like all I mean, I've never lived it. I cannot even imagine actually, but a little bit like this, no, it could happen like in you, of course, not that's like heavy level, but like within UK, that it's like perfect sun, you're going, and then it's like start raining straight away, and it's very cold, and it's like,
yeah,
but it was just sun and nice, but of course, it's not that difference what you have there in Canada. No, this
yeah,
is
yeah.
crazy, guys. So how, it's like, because you have been living in different countries as well. Like, so how do you feel that, I don't know, like, how did you feel when you didn't have to be worried that maybe it's going to snow in 2 seconds and you just, you put your shorts on and you can wear them all day because it's going to be hot. How is that feel?
Well, it was nice not to think about it as much and not to, not to have to wear so many clothes and not to have so many, layers on all the time. But, at the same time, I kind of missed it too, right? So especially when I was living in hot countries, I kind of missed like my body, I think, is a little bit more relaxed when it's
Ah,
kind of
so
cold,
you like
right?
it, guys. You like this unpredictable weather when you can have 20 layers and say, hold on. Now it's snow. Now it's hot. So funny.
Well, I think it provides a little bit of a break, right? So if it's constantly hot, so I lived in a tropical country and it was like constantly hot, right? So it's nice to
Like
have
where?
like
You can tell, if you
no,
want, you can
well,
tell people.
I lived in the
Well,
Philippines. So my family originally is from the Philippines, but I grew up here. But so then I spent a few years living there. Met my wife there. So over there,
oh,
it's
so you met
constantly.
her, hold on, you met her there and you
Yep,
brought her to Canada.
yep. We came back to Canada together. Yeah.
Oh, love always wins. I don't know, like I love all the love story and this kind of stuff, so super nice. Oh, so the hot, cold weather. Um, but what about like, for example, stereotypes of Canadian people? As you have been living abroad, you have been living in Philippines, you have been living as well in Australia. I'm saying that
Yeah.
to people who don't know that. So you've been traveling a lot. So like, what Canadian stereotypes you heard about, or maybe someone stereotyped you wrong, bad. I don't know, like good, bad. Like, how do you feel about this context?
Like I think I have some Canadian stereotypes, but probably the biggest stereotype is, Canadians are nice, right?
Yes.
I mean,
I was about to say,
everybody
I
says,
felt like if you won't say it, I will say it because like we are all so famous. I don't know, like there was like, sorry to interrupt you, but I must say because there's something I had in my mind that there were like sometimes like some, I don't know, somewhere in internet like some like some photo stuff, and like whenever it was like, I don't know, some accident, like car accident, bus with the car and bus like where you said like the place is going to, it was written, I'm sorry, like not like for the accident, and the sales, and we're thinking that's so sweet that actually in the middle of like car accident, he could, like guy could even type on the, on the, do you know what I mean, like on the bus, I don't know what's the name of it, like the,
yeah, the display or something, the display on the
exactly,
top of the
I'm
bus. Yeah.
sorry. because I don't know that I found it so cute. So
Yeah.
but that is like, I mean, Ada confirmed that you guys are so nice and just
Yeah.
just like that. It's possible
Yeah.
to be nice just like that.
Yeah, well, I think, well, it's wonderful to have that stereotype, I think, and to assume that every Canadian is nice. But I think the reality is there are also, just like in any place, there are also some douchey Canadians.
Okay.
So some, rude Canadians as well, and some Canadians who, just don't have any manners or
But
whatever.
but
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 it's true,
isn't
we like
that
to say,
some exactly? But isn't that of course you can find some nice rude people, some,
uh,
but in
uh,
general, you're nice, guys. Are you nice? You're nice to each other. I don't know. Like we have all the world has this feeling that you're just nice. That you're
uh,
nice and polite.
Well, it is true that we like to say sorry. I think saying sorry is yeah. Well, I guess it's polite, right? So saying sorry a lot
Is that oh
is
no,
important.
but nice as well. Come
So,
on. Oh, no, you look at that country. Nice as well. Come on.
but I think people, I suppose it's dangerous to assume that everybody's going to be, if you're visiting a place, everybody's
Yeah.
just going to be like super nice to you, right? There
That's
are,
your point.
people who are, yeah, just like the problem with all stereotypes, right? It's like, you just think everybody's going to be acting that way, and then suddenly somebody doesn't act that way, and then you're surprised.
Oh,
Whatever.
she's supposed to be polite. No,
Yeah,
hold on.
exactly.
But did it happen to you that whenever you were even traveling or living in the place where you say you were, that people assume that you're gonna be very polite? Like, did you feel that, or when you were talking about it, or like, how did you know that actually people know that about these old
Yeah.
stereotypes?
Well, sometimes I think, like the stereotype, what like assumptions about Canada is always in comparison with Americans. So what Americans are
Okay.
not. So like when I was living in Australia, I found, Australians said sorry a lot. They said a also, and Australians were
What do you
also
mean say
like,
a? Hey, no.
yeah, a. Oh, that's another stereotype. I think Canadians say a lot. So how's it going, a?
Ah, really?
How
And
are you
instead of
doing, a?
hey, they say a.
A, yeah, a, yeah. That's another
Hey,
stereotype.
what's
And then
up?
I think
Like
it's that
this?
that's not a stereotype. I think that's actually, that's the truth.
But
People
hold
actually
on. So
do
you
say
say,
that.
guys, hold on, guys. So you say, hey, what's up? Instead of, hey, what's up? That's
No,
what we
it's
say.
backwards. The other way around. So we would say, what's up, eh? Instead of, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? We would say, what's up, eh?
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know that. Interesting. But would you say that it's kind of like within all Canada, or maybe like per regions, or
Yeah.
it's kind of Canadian thing in general?
Yeah, I think it's a Canadian thing in general. So that the A
Not bad.
thing is a very kind of Canadian thing. Like other stereotypes, like a boot, like that's a regional thing. Like I think a lot of people say that, there's that joke, out in a boot. I can't even say it right because it's not my region, right? I think it's a very sort of regional sort of thing. And I think that was one thing that Australians tried to make me say was like, hey, say about, right? Because supposedly a Canadian say it about. But
Ah,
I
you
think
mean the
it's
word
more of a,
about? You mean the word
the
about?
pronounce the word about,
About.
yeah. It's like the pronunciation of about is like about or something.
Ah.
But I
Well,
think it's a regional thing. It's
so
more of a
it's
regional
more like
thing.
different region of Canada, you would say.
I think it's like an Ontario, Quebec thing, and we kind of don't have it. Ontario, Quebec, Eastern thing, we kind of don't have it as much in the West, but then that was the expectation. A lot of Australians would say, hey, say about, and be like, about, and they'd be disappointed.
No, I said you're not Canadian at all.
You're not really
They were
Canadian.
lying to me.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
it's so
yeah.
fun. It's so nice. So
And
I didn't know that.
I,
But actually, I have a feeling that sometimes if you as Canadian would go to Australia or to US or whatever, and you can hear yourself with different accents. Do you know what I mean? When I was
oh,
foreigner and I would just go there,
yeah,
probably I wouldn't even hear that. I wouldn't even know that.
uh,
So they're
uh-huh.
the pronunciation or the words or something. It's something you can absolutely discover between you guys. Um, but you know what? Actually, I was living for a while in Scotland, and many places, Scottish people were asking me if I were Canadian, and I was like, no. But do you think I felt
Oh,
so
really?
proud because yes. And then I was talking to Canadian person. no, no way, like, no, of course not. I said, I don't know. They were asking me, so of course I felt super proud that, like because the like English level and so on. I don't know. I felt like I found it super nice, and then I was saying to Americans, they thought I was Canadian. I said, no, and then I was talking once to some a Canadian guy, and he said, no way, and I said, I don't know. They thought I'm Canadian, so I don't know. I stick with that. That some Scottish people thought I'm Canadian, so I don't know. It was actually quite.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
of
Maybe.
course, I mean,
Maybe.
you wouldn't say that, but I don't know. I felt happy about that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Why not?
Cesar, we're going to Ada's favorite question, which she asked me to add it to, in general, to Ewita Travels, because she loves to hear about
Okay.
food. So I want to know what's typical Canadian breakfast.
Well, food is probably the most boring thing about Canada.
Why?
Like, well, Canadians don't really, English Canadians don't really have anything distinct, apart from, I mean, it's very similar. The culture is very similar to the United States. So if you've been in the United States, you're kind of familiar with
No,
Canadian
but I
culture
know,
in that
but
sense.
because people watch us like in different parts of the world. So for them, for example, like for breakfast, they eat like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
coffee with
Oh,
croissant. That's
sure. Yeah,
it.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, it's like a typical Anglo breakfast.
It's a big breakfast,
It's big,
salty.
salty breakfast. Yeah. So I know some Europeans like they have sweet breakfast.
It's
So
sweet.
this is, so we're part of that sort of salty breakfast world.
So
Eggs,
like, what do you have?
bacon.
The pancakes? Do you have? Is it that common to
Yeah.
have like pancakes with the syrup of? Is it maple syrup? What's the
Maple
name?
syrup. Yeah. Pancakes. Yeah. So yeah, very common in the East, I think. So especially in Quebec, for example, they have like the cabane à sucre, where they harvest the maple from the maple trees, and then that sort of time of year in the spring, actually around now. So they'll have like these big sort of like maple syrup kind of like
So they like
activities.
make it. It's like all the. I don't know. I would say it's like all the big thing, the maple syrup in Canada, because it's Canadian thing, right?
Yeah, it was a big product for a long time, I think. Big traditional product for Canadians. So yeah, like pancakes and syrup, I think is a big thing. But yeah, like the salty stuff too, the eggs and the bacon. Canadian bacon, Canadian back bacon is supposedly a special thing too, like something that we're supposed to
Like
be
what?
proud
Like
of.
what is it? Canadian bacon? Like what was the difference between other bacon? I don't know.
I'm not too sure either, actually. But I think it was just like a
But is
quality
it like
product
fried?
in
It's like all
Canada.
fried, like fried
Yeah.
eggs, fried bacon.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Actually, this is something I noticed when I was in Australia. I think perhaps the English, but the Australians definitely, when they cook their bacon, it's the finished product is still soft, like ham. So it's actually closer to ham. Whereas Canadians and Americans will cook it to crispy. So the bacon is actually kind of crispy.
Yeah, yeah,
So their
crispy. Yeah,
bacon, yeah. So and then it's thin strips. So in North America, it's thin strips. In other English speaking countries, it's kind of more like the larger sort of like slice of ham type of thing, and then they cook it, they heat it, and it's still
I
soft.
don't know. I remember in Scotland as well, like it was like typical, like British breakfast. It was always
Yeah.
bacon there, but like very crispy.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, I don't know. Like I just realized to have it like bacon, not that crispy, to eat
Yeah,
it,
I know. I know.
it's disgusting, isn't it? I don't
I know.
know.
No, it's not disgusting actually. It just tastes like
No,
ham.
because
No,
I
I know
just thought
you're.
about all this part of fat on the top, which is like actually
Yeah,
quite thick. And
that's
so
right.
when it's
Yeah.
crispy, it's okay, it's like nice taste, and plus it's not that thick anymore, that thick anymore.
Yeah.
No,
Well, and
really?
what I used to like to do is like when you buy your bacon there, and it's again the thick sort of slices and the larger pieces, but I would fry it to crispy, so you'd actually have, instead of the thin strips that are this big of bacon, it's like a big giant like piece of
I know,
bacon,
but it's thin and it's
and it's
crispy, isn't it?
yeah. Well, here in Canada, it's thin and crispy, yeah. But over there,
But
you
you
fry it
hold
to
on, but
crispy.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
but
in
you said
Australia, I
that you
would
were
fry it until
actually
it's crispy. Yeah, I would
exactly,
take
but
the
they
well,
wouldn't fry it until it's crispy in Australia.
no,
They wouldn't fry.
no. They'd keep it
Okay,
soft. But then I would buy that same package from the grocery store, like the big
yeah.
thick slices, and basically I would fry it to crispy, and I would basically have like
Exactly.
giant slices of bacon. So which is like awesome.
Do they like, okay, when you just mentioned Australia, like do they have, what's typical Australian breakfast actually? I have no idea. Is this kind of
Um,
similar?
yeah, it's pretty similar. Also, they're also they eat salty breakfasts too, and I felt like they have uh, kind of like beans is kind of more common. Also, having beans like the
Okay.
English.
Mm-hmm.
You saw that in Scotland, like they
Yeah,
would
yeah,
have
yeah.
like
It's
beans
always
with the
like
breakfast.
yeah, like British breakfast, like beans,
Yeah,
crispy bacon, some
yeah,
eggs, of course, fried eggs, and some sausage, fried sausage. It's like
yeah,
you
yeah,
eat it and then you're full like all day. So
yeah.
because Canadian, I mean, you know, when when I was just my one day in my life in Canada, I actually
The
went to
airport.
some restaurant. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. It was in Toronto, and I went to some
Uh,
restaurant, and I said, and I asked to the waitress. I said, "Hello, I would like to have a typical Canadian breakfast. Like, what is it? Because I don't know. I want to eat. I want to try." And I remember it was like huge plate. It was full of food,
oh
like
yeah,
plate full. It was
yeah,
a lot. It was a
yeah.
lot. I'm saying that because some countries don't eat, I don't know, literally
A
nothing, or
lot.
maybe
Yeah,
just you know, two cookies. And
yeah.
it was a lot. And I remember it was like pancakes. It was sandwiches. It was some salad there as well, like
All right.
vegetables.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe some
Yeah,
tomatoes or something. Some tomatoes.
tomato. I can't
Tomatoes
remember
would be typical.
exactly what was it, but I know it was a lot. It was a lot of green as well there, like it was
Okay.
eggs, and it was so
Yeah.
much I couldn't even finish it. As for,
Yeah.
and I said, nice breakfast. I don't know, like
Where there's a
we all love.
saying that there's a saying that we like to say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So supposedly, I think maybe traditionally, yeah, most of the calories were consumed in the morning by
Or,
Canadians in the morning. So yeah, you'd have
well,
everything. Yeah, yeah. So
the
there's
same
also
like
like potatoes and stuff on there, like
they have
fried
potatoes as
potatoes, like
well
hash
there
browns. Yeah, yeah,
for
hash browns
breakfast.
sometimes. Yeah, hash browns. So it's fried
See,
potatoes, crispy kind of
wow.
hashed potatoes. So that would be typical as well.
Okay. No, hold on, because I mean, we in Poland we say that breakfast is very important because it needs to give you a lot of calories. So we have big breakfast, but still,
Yeah.
like I don't know, like lunch would be bigger.
Oh,
Do
all
you have
right.
like lunch is bigger, or for you guys even breakfast is bigger than lunch, like as a meal?
Breakfast. I think is still bigger. Like lunch is
Wow.
like lunch like during the week, for example, would be actually very simple because you're working and you're
Yeah.
maybe just eat a sandwich or something
Quickly.
like that. So typically, but whereas
Okay.
breakfast is at home, right? So you go and eat like a lot.
I know, but breakfast, you when you rush to go out in the morning, you know what I mean? Like that's some.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, I
I
guess
have
so.
no
Yeah,
time to cook in the morning. Just quickly something
I
and
suppose. Yeah,
go.
you're right. Yeah, that's
But
true.
no,
I
I don't
guess.
know that. Like that sometimes people can actually assume, you know, that it will be easier to prepare yourself lunch. I don't know for next day than breakfast in the morning. At what time you usually start like working, schools and stuff in Canada? Like, at what time it starts? Like normal time,
About 8:30 or 9 o'clock usually.
8:39. So it's like
Yeah.
9 to 7, kind of. No, no, 9 to 5.
Working. Yeah, it'd be like a
Yeah.
9 to 5 or like I start usually at 8:30, so it'd be like 8:30 to
So it's
4:30 or
4:30,
5. Yeah.
eight
Yep.
hours, and you have like some break in between.
Yeah, lunch break.
For how long does it take? Lunch break.
Typically it would be like 30 minutes to an hour.
Okay. No, no, no. I'm asking because, for example, like here in Poland, you are at work exactly 8 hours. So let's say you start
Okay.
8 till 4.
Oh,
During this
okay.
time, you have like I think for law like 15 minutes break or something. But of course, like you know,
Okay.
whenever you eat, go to the toilet, it's a bit longer, but in general, it's 15 minutes. For example, in Argentina, they have within all day, they have a full hour, 1 hour to your like lunchtime. But
Yeah.
that means that you're actually at your work kind of 9 hours. You know, you start at 9
Oh, I see. Yeah,
and you
yeah.
finish at 6.
Yeah.
But within that time, 1 full hour is like your lunchtime. So you can go out and eat like whatever you
Okay.
want. But it's
Yeah.
kind of, you know, but like kind of 9 hours, but you still work 8 hours. But in Poland, you
Yeah, yeah,
work
yeah.
8 hours, but then you mean you work less hours because within this 8 hours, you have your like lunchtime, your lunch break.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's
no,
similar in Canada. It's
No, yeah,
similar.
no, it's not. No, it's not included. So it's added actually. So yeah, I lied. Actually, I start at sometimes because sometimes I start at 8 and I end at 4:30, and then
Okay.
sometimes I start at 8:30 and then I end at like 5. So it's not actually added. So for us, it's 30
Oh, so you
minutes.
added. So you do work 8 hours, like 8 hours.
So like work 8 hours, and then
Oh,
the
okay.
30 minutes for lunch isn't included. Yeah,
It's like added. Okay, it's not included.
yeah,
Hold on. No, so we
yeah,
we kind of had it included.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's
That's
just
nice,
15 minutes, but
actually.
it's
That's
longer.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, at least something.
That's nice.
Okay, so as we all know that you have been traveling a lot and you have
Not
been living
lately.
in many different
Not lately.
countries. No, I know. But that's why we do Ewita Travel. That's why we travel online. That's why we
We're
connect online
traveling,
because
yeah,
that's the only
instead.
way.
Yeah,
Because that's the only way.
only other way now. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for.
Thank God for technology.
Yeah, no, actually, yeah. It's just, I don't know. I hope we're getting to the end of this
Yeah, me
one
too.
day.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you have been traveling a lot, what was the first things or like the biggest differences you have noticed when being abroad or living abroad or being in different countries comparing to
Uh,
Canada?
well, so depending on the country I go to, but like
Okay.
one of the things that I miss a lot typically is the spaces, the empty spaces, and the privacy, and just
You mean like
kind of be,
nature space? Like
yeah, yeah,
you have it a
nature.
lot in Canada, right?
So there's a lot of space in Canada, and it's kind of empty. So even in the
I was
cities,
told,
sometimes, yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I was told once that you can like, drive your car and like being driving 4 days in the middle of nowhere. Is it true?
Well, yeah, up north probably if you if you drive
I
up
don't,
if you
yeah, I
drive
know
north,
Canada's so huge, and but so
yeah,
like you can just drive, just drive. There's nothing there, just drive.
yeah. I think if you go north, if you go like east west, you always run into towns, and Canada's kind of configured east west, right? And some countries, I think,
Hold on,
like
we
the
have
United
a
States,
map
I think,
here. We have a map here. I know you can see the way
yeah,
around, but that's not the point. So you
yeah,
mean, so you mean here you have
yeah.
cities here or not? Am I right? Am I wrong?
Most Canadian cities and most of the Canadian population is really further south, close to the American border. So not
So
close, but like
here,
I mean, yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. Most of those
So
cities are
here
around there,
stuff
except
is.
for like
I'm not even mentioning here because it's yeah, of course it's empty,
that's
but
uninhabited up there. Those
yeah,
islands
but
are
like
well,
so
no,
this
no, I shouldn't
area
say
is a
that.
bit
I shouldn't. I shouldn't say that. There are some sort of small communities there, but it's
okay.
very small communities. But yeah,
Okay,
it's quite empty space up north. So I think it's quite possible that that person that told you you can drive for 4 days without seeing anything
there's nothing
up
there.
there. Yeah, it's absolutely possible.
So if you will, I don't know, if you get the, I don't know, heart attack or something in the way there, who's gonna save you?
And probably get like a helicopter to say. I think if you dial 911, they'll like fly
And
in
you
and pick you up and fly you to the closest sort of settlement, probably
it's the
hospital. But
closest
otherwise,
hospital, which is on the across the country.
you
No, no,
probably
no.
or otherwise
It's
pray
just
for
so huge, guys. Your
or
country's so
just hope
huge.
or just hope that that bear is gonna save you, not eat you. I don't know.
Is it really that common to be like bear there in Canada everywhere?
Yeah. Well, around here because we're near the mountains, and actually Calgary's part. So I live in Calgary.
Yeah.
And it's within the like a habitat zone, so of bears. Although, like bears are afraid of people, right? So you don't really see them in the cities. But I think if you go to like
I don't know. People say that they
the
are not that
trails and
afraid of people,
countryside.
that actually you need to shout and you need to, like my
Oh
friend who
yeah,
went to Canada, before she went, like just for hiking or I don't know, they told her stuff she needs to do in case of seeing bears. Said she needs to like
yeah,
clap their hands and
yeah. Be
shout
noisy.
and I don't know, do the stuff just to make noise because they're afraid of noise. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. So they'll. So I think you're talking about black bears. Black bears are more intelligent and supposedly more intelligent than the brown bears. The brown bears are the shy, grizzly ones. They're the big ones that you see in the pictures all the time. But then the
Oh,
smaller sort of
I
black
didn't know
bears.
there's a difference. Hold on,
Yeah,
they're black and brown
yeah,
bears.
The brown bears are also like called the grizzly bears. So they're the ones that are kind of more famous and they see in the movies because they're
Okay.
bigger and more
Okay.
ferocious, but they're actually shyer. So the smaller brown bears are curious, and they're intelligent. So they tend to, yeah, so they tend to be more nuisances and stuff like that. Like in some of the smaller communities in some smaller cities, yeah, you can see them quite regularly. There's a town near here called Canmore, and I think they see there's like bear sightings and bear maulings fairly regularly. And yeah, absolutely. If you're out in the countryside and you're hiking by yourself, so like you said, like so bears are kind of afraid of noise, so they don't go into like the cities because there's cars, there's people, there's
Yeah. Mhm.
there's that. So, but then if you're on a trail and stuff like that, you could run into a bear. And then the worst thing is surprising a bear. So if you surprise a bear, then they'll
Like, let's
be,
say he's just hanging around there. Like the bear is just hanging around there, and
yeah,
you like not attack
and you
them,
surprise them.
but like,
No,
you
no.
just surprise.
Yeah, so you get close and then suddenly they're like, "Oh my God, you're there." So they'll attack, they'll be inclined to sort of be aggressive. So that's why they
Okay.
say make a lot of noise as you're hiking so that the bears will stay
So the
away. So
bear
they'll
will
hear
hear
you.
someone is coming.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
So make
Oh
noise. So
my God,
people
that's so
sometimes
scary. That's
so
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 scary.
so people will speak loud and stuff and
Okay.
and sometimes actually now it's becoming more common to have like because the speakers and stuff so they'll play music and things like that.
Did you
So
meet? Have you had? Did it happen to you that actually you get across to the bear?
no, I haven't had a close encounter with the bear. I've seen a bear from a distance, so we'd be hiking and you kind of see a bear from the distance or on the roadside. Sometimes you drive and then you see them kind
And they're
of
just coming with the whole family, mommy and
yeah,
small bear.
yeah,
Tiki, 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 tiki.
yeah, yeah. Oh
Hold
yeah,
on,
laying
what do you
out.
say? Mountains, lions are worse. What is mountain lions? What is it?
Oh, oh, they're like pumas. I think they're related to
Ah,
pumas.
yeah.
So, like a
Mountain lion.
type of cat, wild cat, type of wild cat. But they're super shy though. So they tend to live way up on like higher levels of the so like where people like the so above the tree line. I think I'm not sure, but I think they live above the tree line on mountains. So like when mountains get higher, trees
So
have
they're
less
kind of.
opportunity. So there it's
But
like
would
the
you say they're
rockier
shy as
zone.
well, or they can just jump and puma and
Yeah.
just eat you?
Oh, I think they're super shy, so they'll mainly stay away from. I haven't really. I think bear encounters are much more common, but yeah, I suppose I have it's not a good thing if you run into if you run into a mountain lion. I think not
What
pumas,
else do you
cougars,
have there,
cougars,
guys? What else do you have there?
rabbits. We have
So
a lot of hares. That's actually
what
the
is it?
most common wild animal that you'd run into
Hares. What is
in
it?
hare. It's like a type of rabbit.
Oh, but are they aggressive? Are they bad? Or
No,
are they
no, no, not
cute?
aggressive. No, no, they're very cute actually.
They can stalk you. Who? Well, Ada, who can stalk you? The bears or the pumas or the
Um,
rabbits?
the rabbits, yeah, rabbits can stalk you.
Zions. Ah, okay. Thank you for Polish here. What
Because
was the
they're
name again?
everywhere.
What
Hare,
was the name?
Hare, a hare.
Hare. Huh. Hare, the pumas. Haha.
Oh no,
No,
what?
she
No,
said the
pumas.
pumas are stalking. Well, I don't know. Maybe pumas are stalking Ada. I don't know.
Oh, sure. It's like a puma. I think actually the right word is a cougar. It's a cougar and mountain lions. Yeah, mm, yeah. I think that's the right word. I think pumas
Hold
are
on. But
tropical.
you have the thing with squirrels there. With uh, the squirrels there are not afraid of people, and they're coming to the parks, and they are
Oh
coming
yeah.
to. Yeah, it's not common because here in Poland, and plus, I mean, I'm saying that because I saw it, and then I was talking to people, said, yeah, of course, it's normal. Polish squirrels are ginger, and your squirrels there, I saw them, they were gray.
Uh-huh. I think it depends on where.
Okay,
Within the
of
cities,
course, you're thinking of Toronto.
I lived in yeah no I lived in Montreal and out east. They're yet darker I think. So they're black and stuff like the city
Black
ones.
even.
There's some are even black. I think the ones in Montreal were black. Uh, then here in Calgary, they're kind of brownish gray with some
Okay.
stripes and stuff like that. But they
I don't know,
probably
like
have.
Poland, just ginger, that's it. And then there, so that's why I saw like in the park, there were so many squirrels, but they were all gray.
Uh-huh.
And just, like
Yeah,
going
yeah.
close to
Okay.
people, asking like for food, people were feeding them. And I said, like, what
Yeah.
are these animals? And they said, well, squirrels. I said, but they're gray. Yes, of course. And I said, no, but it's supposed to be ginger. It's just, yeah, because I was used to, have like ginger things. And they
Yeah,
are
there's
so like
some.
open friendly. But I saw actually once like somewhere in internet, some movie, someone recorded that those gray squirrels were like devastating garden or like some vegetables of
Oh,
someone. Like
maybe.
they're eating stuff and they just like they're not afraid of anything. They're not afraid of human anymore. And that they
Yeah.
can be a bit not dangerous, but like
Pest. Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah. 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 There's I guess. Well, here they're not too annoying. Maybe in some of the bigger cities. Yeah, I know raccoons also. We don't have them here in Calgary, but out east
What's
in cities like
raccoons? Is the ginger? No, the
no, raccoons are also. I mean, that's another kind of rodent. It's not a squirrel. But raccoons are also pests. Like they have like the kind of like stripes in
I
the
know, and
eyes
the
and a striped
tail is like
tail.
black
Yeah,
and white
yeah, yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
And
So
they're common.
maybe they're more common out east, I think. So here we don't have them. So we have squirrels, yes, but I don't think they're too pesty here in Calgary. But I can see how, because then they become habituated to humans, right? So people probably feed them and stuff, and then yeah,
Exactly.
they can
Like here
expect
in
food and stuff.
Poland, when you see squirrels somewhere in the tree, because they're not just even hanging, like, somewhere in the forest, people take photo and it's like very quick, like very, very step by step, very quiet. It's like photo because they're so afraid they just run away quickly and that's it. Wait,
Yeah.
Ada wrote something here. No, sorry. No, I'm just checking, like, if there's some stuff. Cougar, what is cougar? That's what you said, right?
Cougar, yeah, I meant to say cougar instead of puma. So a cougar
Okay.
is the mountain lion, mountain lion cougar.
Okay.
Puma is I
Okay.
think a tropical. Yeah, it's like a more tropical. I
Yeah,
don't know.
if you have
I'm
a
not
garden,
a
hold on. If you have a garden, squirrels can be a
a new.
nuisance.
Yeah,
Nuisance? I don't know this word, but
a
so they can be
nuisance.
annoying. They can be actually
Yeah,
destructive to your garden. That's what I
yeah,
saw
yeah.
in the
Because
movie.
oh, I see, I see. So they eat like oh yeah, because yeah, if you're trying to grow vegetables and things like that,
Exactly.
so they'll
And
dig. They'll kind of dig
and
stuff up.
people
There's a
were
lot of
trying,
animals that do that.
to like get them away, but they didn't care. They were still, like, stealing food and just
Yeah.
eating it and they're just destroying stuff.
Yeah, here especially if you grow gardens, I think there's three pests that you have to worry about. Uh, Hares, like I mentioned, because they'll eat
Yeah,
up all the thing.
all the
Squirrels also,
vegetables.
and what's it called? Magpies. So magpies are these birds that will kind of pesty sort of birds that will dig up your plants and try to eat them.
The
So those are the
big,
three
big black
things.
ones.
Yeah,
Big
they're kind
black
of
one.
black. Yeah, well, not the crows. So we also have actually crows
Okay.
are a problem too, but it's more the magpies. So the magpies here they have black, a little bit of blue, and white, and they're a little smaller than the crows, but they're
Your
really
animals,
smart.
guys. Your animals are so wild. They're yeah,
Yeah, well, that's one of the yeah. Actually, that's one of the things. Like depending on where I go, like in Australia, they had also their own animals, like a lot of their own animals. But then,
a lot of
if I go to other
scary
countries, I
animals
miss
they have there.
I miss yeah, some cute ones too. But yeah, I miss the
I
animals
don't know.
and the closest to nature here in Canada. If I'm in like Asia or something like that. So
Well, so no, hold on. You know, let's go there a little bit. As you said that you have seen like so many horrible and disgusting spiders there in Australia, but I'm sure like
uh-huh.
in Asia they have so many scary and dangerous like insects or animals as well, like very commonly hanging around within the city. Is it this way? Like I don't know, like Europe, we don't really have. I don't know. For example, the thing. in Poland, I was talking to my Brazilian friend, and she asked me, "What's the most dangerous not spider? No, a snake you have in Poland?"
Oh yeah.
And I don't remember. I don't know the word in English, right, of the snake, but it's a snake. There's only one type of snake which can actually bite you and have a poison, but this poison is not gonna kill you. It's just you got poison, and then all the other snakes are not dangerous. And plus, I have never seen snake in my life living in Poland ever. Like it's you need to get deep into the bush somewhere. Da, da, da. And then like whenever you just go out in front of your house and you have thousands of stuff just going there and walking around and stuff. Is it like did you felt? I mean, have you seen this in Australia or in Asia in general? Because you have a few parts of Asia.
Well, I think some of the most poisonous snakes in the world are in Australia. That's why maybe some of the most poisonous spiders, some of the most poisonous snakes live in Australia. That's why they develop that sort of reputation. I mean, you can find snakes in other places in the world. Here in North America also, like they have the rattlesnake.
I know, but
not here in Canada.
You know, but what I mean, like, I don't know. I remember once one lady was telling me some story. Again, it's about Australia, but she told me that I don't know what parts of Australia she was from. I don't remember, but she told me that at night you cannot go into the park. Like if you have a park during the night, all the trees are covered by spider's web. Like they are like even silver, and and there are like so many spiders there, and you cannot cross the park in the middle during the night, because for sure you will get someone of you and they can bite you. They're always so poisonous, and so all the parks, if you see some trees at night, you need to go far away from there. Just don't cross under there or something. And it's like, oh my god, this is so scary.
There's a season, I think, where spiders, like the spider population of some places, they do that. They'll create all that web, and one of the towns near where I was living in Australia, that happened while I was there. So,
have you seen that?
I didn't on my own, but it was in the news actually, and it was like a city that was near, or a town that was near where I was living. And yeah, like some bushes were covered by spider webs and stuff like that. But
yeah,
it
she told
like
me
a
that
major.
I mean, the same lady told me that she you need to buy like all her house, her car, her garden, everything is sprayed by something against spiders.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Maybe that's what the thing you should have. What you should have use, like when you were living there. I don't know. Like I think I would die. You know, having spiders. They're huge.
Yeah. Well,
Eva, what are you planning to do in the park at night? Hold on, I'll ask question. Eva, what are you planning to do in the park at night? I don't know, just hang out. You hang out sometimes when it's dark, isn't it? Maybe you don't, guys, in Canada. I don't know. Maybe you drive your car, but people sometimes they want to go for a walk. Yeah. And they just want to have some trees there, and they just want to cross, you know, like, I don't know, cross the place with the trees. That's what she meant. Like, when you see the trees, don't cross, like, through it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, going back to Canada, but it was very interesting. What would you say if I would ask you the things you like about your country and things you don't like about the country, and I don't know, maybe you'll have to change it or...
Well, I guess like, it's kind of negative to start with the don't like, but it's just really present in my mind now. It's just like, again, I told you yesterday it was almost 20. Okay. And then today we have a big, giant snowfall.
So that's the negative stuff.
That's the negative. This, at least here.
But you were missing it when you were in Australia, though, you said.
I kind of missed the cold. Yeah, I did. Well, I suppose the cold I missed, but this unpredictability probably. I sort of like it, you know, like it's still, we all, you know, live through it. We all like grew up with it, but then you can hear Canadians complaining endlessly about like the unpredictability of the weather, and it's like a topic of conversation all the time, right?
Always.
So Canadians love to talk about the weather just because of like it's always shocking them.
No, but guys, this is actually, I don't know. As I said, I didn't live that, but it's, of course, it's horrible. You know, like I don't know, you don't know what to wear. You know, you wear like sandals, and then it's snowing and it's raining and you get all wet. No, it's horrible, guys. of, I would feel like Polish people are kings of complain life. So of course, you know, we would complain about that too, and all the part stuff as well, like all the stuff around the topic, we would complain as well. But guys, I think I would join the complaining stuff, not weather, because no, hold on, no.
Well, it gives you extra
So
impetus
did you actually, but did you actually enjoy in the hot country? Like, do you like hot weather, like sun and, you know, nice?
What I love about like warmer countries is the beach. Like I love the ocean. I love
Okay.
being near water. I love the beach, and love when I was living in the Philippines, I loved you know the islands and the beaches. When I was
Mm.
living in Australia, I loved the beaches also, being near the coast and stuff.
It,
So it
is it
was
Philippines like tropic climate all the time, like all
yeah
the year, hot
yeah.
season? But it's like you have like, I don't know, like some tropic countries, I don't know if Philippines as well. It's like there's like half year, like rainy season, and then is it the correct way you have it there or
Yeah,
not? Like how is it?
yeah. There's like a
So
dry and
half
wet
year it's
season.
raining?
So like the I guess the equivalent of winter would be the rainy season. So it's a little cooler. So instead of maybe 35, it would be 29 or something like that, or
Oh my God,
28.
so cold. I know.
So, but it's
Oh.
very, very tropical. So the Philippines is very tropical. So you know, some countries, you know, some tropical countries would have like, you know, sort of drier, cooler sort of areas, but the Philippines are all just a cluster of tropical islands and stuff. So,
So
yeah,
it's like
very
when
cute.
it rains, literally rains half a year all the time, or it's not that
Yeah.
bad? I don't
Well, there would be a time of day, I remember quite predictably, where it would rain.
know. Okay.
It was usually towards the end of the day, maybe about 4 o'clock. It would just sort of rain, and it would go for maybe an hour or something like that. But then I think the rainy season is when the typhoons come. So the rainy season is typically
Ah.
the time when like the big storms sort of make
Mhm.
their way across the Pacific and hit the Philippines, and the Philippines is in the pathway of a lot of the typhoons. So. And
Oh.
more now, like some regions of the Philippines, which traditionally wouldn't get hit, like the southern island of Mindanao before,
Yeah.
wasn't in the pathway of typhoons, but now they kind of are. And it's just sort of
Mm.
just, you know, how the climate kind of changes and stuff, and
But like,
everything's
so
kind of
you got
different.
affected a lot. Like Philippines got affected a lot by typhoons, by like
Yeah,
hurricanes
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible. I know. I have a friend
Well,
from
in Asia, it's called,
Dominican Republic, and he said like all the Caribbean islands, like every year, like some time of the year, you always have the typhoons coming and the hurricane, and every year it destroys the same cities, the same houses.
yeah, exactly,
I
yeah,
don't know. It's horrible because you cannot do anything about that because it's the nature.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
hard.
and I think the cities that get hit regularly, they have resources and they try to prepare. You can't prepare 100%, right? Because then you don't know.
But
There's
something.
always like places that get damaged. But actually, it's really more devastating. And in recent years, at least in the Philippines, the most devastating ones, typhoons, are the ones that hit places that didn't expect them. Like I mentioned, because before they wouldn't hit Mindanao as much as regularly.
Hmm.
So now they're kind of starting to do that. So it becomes very, very devastating. I suppose like also when they hit populated areas. So sometimes they'll hit because they'll go to the East Coast first, right? And then typically like the biggest cities aren't really on the East Coast, so they'll go to like, you know, sparsely populated places. But when they hit Manila, for example, there's a lot of flooding, a lot of roofs come off and things
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
So yeah, it becomes quite devastating. And also in the Pacific, they're called the typhoons, and in the Atlantic, they're called hurricanes. So you wouldn't have a hurricane in the Pacific; you would just have
Ah,
typhoons.
so it's not the same thing.
No, well, it is, but it's just a different
That is
name.
different name. Okay, okay, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So you guys would have typhoons in
yeah, yeah.
Philippines,
Mhm.
but Atlantic, like Caribbeans, will have
Yes,
hurricanes.
hurricanes. Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, good to know. So okay, so going back to the question, what you like, what you don't like. If you would have to compare a little bit, maybe Canada and Philippines, what was the thing like, you know, you preferred in one country or you preferred in another country? Like, how would you say that? You know what I mean?
I think proximity to people. So there's in the Philippines, you're always around people, and you're always there's always Filipinos always have somebody with them, and I think that's
In
just something getting
Philippines.
used to in the Philippines. Yeah. So there's
Okay.
always like this sort of like social sort of culture in the Philippines, like like this
Okay.
personal
People are
connection.
hanging around together a lot.
A lot, yeah, a lot more than Canadians are. And I think I grew up here in Alberta, and we always have like in the course of the day, you always have that time alone by yourself,
Okay.
and being apart from people. Whereas I kind of had
You
to get
like
used to
it.
that.
You Canadians like, take the distance. Now it's time for me. 5 o'clock. Time for me.
Yeah, kind of like alone time, right? Like that sort of like personal space time. I think Canadians are kind of more used to that. Although I appreciate it too in the Philippines. I sort of enjoyed like that sort of, highly
So
social.
you are you
You
are
never
you
feel
are a
lonely.
friendly
You never
person.
feel
I mean,
lonely.
you
Yeah,
are people. You are people. You are a person who likes to be with the people.
a little bit, yeah. Yeah, but I know
Okay.
I was missing that alone time when I
Mm.
first moved to the Philippines. But I got used to it, and I appreciate like you're never alone. You're never lonely in the Philippines, and I don't think there's anybody who's ever
Oh, that's
lonely. It doesn't
nice.
seem like anybody's ever lonely in the Philippines because you always have somebody, right? But then there's so many lonely people here in Canada, people who just
Really?
um,
Um,
so,
didn't know that. So what? And what? Okay. So now hold on. But you said something you didn't really like about Canada. But what you do like a lot about Canada?
well, I like winter sports. Like and this is a stereotype, but I'm a
Hockey.
fan of I'm a fan of ice hockey. Yeah, uh,
Yay! That's
but
the thing that I have found out that that's the most typical sport of Canada. It's hockey. I didn't know that.
it's not the
You play
national
hockey,
sport. It's not the
but
national
you
sport,
love it.
but it is the
But you
most
love it.
popular sport. Yeah, I love
Everyone loves
watching
hockey. Everyone
it,
plays
following
hockey.
it. Well, not everyone. I know a lot of people who don't play,
But
but then
like
everybody,
I don't know,
it's an
like whenever you're
environment.
a
Yeah,
kid, but like whenever you're a kid and you want to be a football player, I don't know, in some countries which
oh
football is so
yeah,
important, then you say,
yeah,
oh,
absolutely.
you want to play hockey when you're a
Yes.
kid. Da, da, da.
Yeah, here in Canada, that's the equivalent. So like dads
Mm,
like to dream that their kid is gonna be a famous hockey player or something like that.
okay.
Or as a kid, I think every Canadian kid at one point in time dreams about being a hockey player or thinks about being a famous hockey player.
Did you
So
dream to be a famous hockey player?
absolutely, I still do. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice. But you did play, so you
I did.
tried. Maybe, just keep practice. You never know.
It
Can
was
be
much
it.
later in life.
You still have time.
I always wanted to play, I think, but and I played organized hockey much later in life. So it wasn't really at a time where I would kind of like actually dream about becoming a hockey player and stuff. But it was like really
Okay.
indulging in something I always loved, as a kid. So
Nice.
kind of
So nice.
stereotypical in that way, but yeah, absolutely. Hockey culture is this sort of like pervasive thing in Canada. So
So was the thing were you missing it in Philippines?
yes, yeah. So yeah, I
A
missed a
lot.
little bit of that in the Philippines. I missed it a lot when I was in Australia. So yeah.
Ah, yes, try as well. Okay, so you can listen, now you have your 20 centimeters of snow, just go play hockey. No, but it's
I
not
know,
snow,
right?
it's the ice you need, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
need
really
the
good
ice. Yeah,
at it.
yeah. So probably some of the rinks have. Well, yeah, maybe they've frozen up. It's probably terrible ice now because it melted a lot, and then now it kind of suddenly froze. So it's
Yeah, well,
probably
all this
very.
famous, listen, I get it on internet, but all these famous little movies from internet when you can see people cannot even walk because they just fall, it's all in Canada. They're always from Canada.
Is that right?
You know,
Yeah.
that cannot get out of the car because they slip and just fall straight away. They cannot
Yeah.
get out because they fall away. Someone is helping them and they fall together. It's all coming from Canada.
Is that right?
So so
Okay.
now you have your hockey, in everyday life with your
Yeah,
own
that's
body.
right. Yeah,
Crazy
all these ice and snow kind of problems.
stuff.
Yeah, so it's
Cool.
very Canadian. Getting your car stuck and stuff, getting buried in snow, and falling through the ice, I guess.
See the bear,
Seeing a
saying,
bear, yeah,
"What's
running into a
up?" See
bear.
the puma. I forgot the name. I forgot the name. The word in
Cougar,
English of the
cougar,
puma.
cougar,
See a cougar.
cougar. Yeah,
Yeah. So normal, guys. So,
Yeah.
feed the squirrel. It's, so normal stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, do you have any questions? I want your questions. Ada, you are so here, so write some question. But she will write a question, so she'll know the answer. But because she lives there. But I don't know. I want some questions for Cesar. Dun, dun. Hello, everyone. Sorry. I'm just checking a bit at comments here. And there were some questions or something. Super. I don't know. Ada wrote here the thing.
Hey, yeah, hey.
A. Okay. What would you ever consider? Would you ever consider moving to somewhere else?
I've always dreamed of living in Europe. Me? That's not for me.
Yeah. No, it's for you. The question is for you.
I've always dreamed of living in Europe at one point.
Really? Where? What
To
country?
Europe, yeah. I don't know. Well, I speak French, so probably French speak. Well, probably France, maybe. Although it's a little bit more expensive. We visited Italy. If one could dream, I think.
Yeah, if you could dream, never mind the language. What would it be?
Yeah, no, I would love to live in Italy. So we were in Italy a couple of years ago, just for I was there for a conference, and we did a little tour, myself and my wife. It was
so
beautiful.
Italy will be your choice. No,
Italy.
Pizza.
Probably a Mediterranean. I think a Mediterranean country. So like Italy.
It's warm there. They're warm, man. They're warm. They're nice. Have a beach usually.
Yeah.
Nice.
Spain also. I'd consider Spain as well. So.
Well, you speak French. Why do you speak French? I mean, just hobby or because I don't know.
So growing up, I was in French school. So elementary school was all in French. So, it's the second official language. Yeah, it's the second official language.
I know, but only parts of Canada, right?
Yeah, so regionally, Quebec speaks French. And then Alberta, where I grew up, where it is.
You grew up in Alberta, and then it was official. So hold on, in Alberta, official language is French or both English and French.
No, both are official. So all across
so it's
Canada,
like everyone speaks.
Languages.
Everyone speaks those two languages.
No.
No, I don't know. And because that's something I was always considering. No questions. I'm sorry. No question. I just enjoyed the show. Oh, thank you. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments. By the way. No. But I I will keep up the questions. But just one thing. How is it with this official? Like when the countries have official few languages, Like let's say if you have official, I don't know because Polish is just Polish. That's what I'm asking. English and French. It means that you kind of choose, I don't know, school, whatever, family, what language do you speak, and in every place you go, you have possibility to, I don't know, fill in the paper or to speak in this language or in another. Like how is that?
Well, supposedly,
everything is in two languages.
Yeah, supposedly, in theory, all of Canada is supposed to be in two languages, and you, in theory, are supposed to be able to speak either French or English. But in practice, really, it ends up being like just government forms are in both languages. Okay. Federal government forms are in both languages. That's about it. But then you do have like that availability of things. So you could actually go to a French immersion school. And that's what my parents did. They decided to put me in French immersion. So, because they thought like, I'm going to learn English speaking to my friends and, just being in an English speaking society. I'm going to learn Tagalog at home because we speak Tagalog in a Filipino home. And then they thought, okay,
later I want to ask later to speak something in what's the language? Tagalog,
yeah.
Tagalog.
So they thought like the academic environment would be in French for me. So actually, I thought that was pretty prescient of them and pretty so yeah. Like I basically went.
But would you consider yourself better in English or French or both at the same level?
Oh no, I'm much better in English. So.
Okay. So, no. So, I don't know because
my French is kind of out of practice.
Like you read a few languages because for me it's just Polish. I was always thinking how was to grow up on the.
Oh, you speak Yeah.
Interesting. Nice. Then it opened like so many doors for you within the world. Okay, we have a question here. What are you proud of in Canada?
Proud of? Uh, yeah, no, I think Canada is a great sort of, it's very sort of like clean. Canada is very clean. Uh,
It's
I think like,
guys, your home. I used to say, I must say, your homeless people are very, I don't know, clean and
what?
like it's,
Yeah.
I know it sounds weird, but homeless people in Canada, they are not so obviously homeless.
Hmm.
Do you understand what I'm saying? For example,
I think yeah.
when I was once in Sweden and I was just waiting in the bus station, I don't know, like in the bus, and there was some guy just walking, like some older man walking there, and then I saw him like, but he had like absolutely normal clothes, like I had, like normal, clean, just like older man coming somewhere, and suddenly I realized he was taking stuff like out of trash, and I said, oh
Oh
no,
yeah,
why is
yeah.
he taking trash? And then I checked, he had just one shoe, and another was like barefoot, and I said like,
Mm.
oh, I think he's homeless. And then I realized that he's checking because he's homeless or something. But he looked so clean and so, and so
Yeah,
that you would never say he's homeless. And I don't
yeah,
know, I
I
had this
agree.
feeling from Canada. Like when I saw homeless people, I kind of figured out they're homeless, but they look like clean,
Yeah.
nice, and with nice clothes. I don't know if it's the same feeling for you.
Maybe they're given, it's because of the winters here, right? And it would be very rough for them, so they're
And
given
they'll be like
often
giving
given
stuff.
like probably often given newer clothes, but they suffer, I think, just as much as homeless people in other places, and they suffer from
Okay,
all sorts of life and personal kind of
exactly.
issues. So,
Okay.
yeah, I think I think it would be difficult to say that they're kind of better off. Maybe in certain ways they're kind of better off, but it's still like a dire kind
But
of
maybe they are.
situation.
Maybe you can if you're receiving something from the government, whatever it is, you're better off than you when you're not getting anything,
Yeah,
right?
maybe. Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Yeah, so you're right. So I suppose like that sort of support system, that social support system is something I can be proud of in Canada, like the
It's a
healthcare
good one.
system.
It's a good one there in
Yeah,
Canada.
yeah, the healthcare system, and then there's like this sort of like active participation in caring for society. There's that sort of like ideological perspective, which is a little bit more about
Ah,
like involvement in caring for society and volunteering and things like that. There's a little bit more of that culture here in Canada, so I'm
that's
pretty
actually
proud of that.
something very nice because then it shows that you care about the other person, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I think there's a little bit of that ethos in Canadian culture is that we're supposed to care about each other, and not just compete with each other,
That's
but
so
actually,
nice.
act as a society, so participate in
Well, so
society.
that's
There's a little bit
something
of that.
definitely to be proud of, I would say, of course. Hold on,
Yeah.
Ada said, say Trudeau. Can you see the comment when she wrote it?
What did she say?
She
I have to
said,
scroll down.
scroll
Oh yeah,
down.
Trudeau. Yeah,
What is
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Trudeau
It wouldn't
hair.
be.
What is it?
Oh yeah, Trudeau's got so our Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has like very good sort of head of wavy hair. So I think many women appreciate that of him. Like I mean, I
Ah,
think many
really?
women
To your prime
appreciate
minister,
many
huh?
things. Our Prime Minister, I think many
Nice.
women appreciate a lot of things about Justin Trudeau.
Trudeau.
But yeah, but hair probably is one of those things.
Oh, listen, the thing here. The healthcare system is great here. So even if we want to move, we have to think twice.
She's talking. This is my
Because,
wife. This is my wife,
yeah.
Elaine. Yeah.
Hi.
So, so yeah, you asked me about like, was there a question about of living in another place, and I said possibly Europe would be a dream place,
Ah,
but yeah, I think one of the serious considerations is like healthcare.
because
So,
yeah, I mean, that was something what my friend Kimberly from USA was mentioning about Canada, that you guys have it all sorted out, all the healthcare, all the stuff. I don't know if education is free there in Canada or not. I don't know that.
oh yes, yeah. So university education is all because in the United States is a combination. You have the state university, and then you have like the private universities. But
It's just
here, all
also
the
expensive there,
universities,
guys. US is so
yeah, it's
expensive there.
ridiculous expensive. Yeah, education. So here, all the universities are subsidized. So it's all, you know,
So
it's
it's
all
good.
kind of not that
Oh, that
it's cheap. It's still expensive to go to go to university, and it's getting more and more expensive. Uh, but uh, but I think these those astronomical prices that you might pay in countries where you have private education, they don't exist here
it
in
doesn't.
Canada.
You are like better there here. Hold on, I like
Yeah, a
this
little bit.
question here. Have you ever received tickets for a good way of driving? No,
For
for a good or
driving
for the bad way
politely.
of driving?
I've
What?
never received a ticket for polite driving, but I think there's
Do
sometimes
you have this?
politeness. I think some. I, I don't think, I do think sometimes politeness causes trouble on Canadian roads because there's this concept I think in countries that have more traffic, like the zipper sort of like when one lane is blocked and it bottlenecks to one lane. Typically, you have like
So
one
you
car
need
go
to get
first.
person to get into the line. That's what you mean?
Yeah,
You need to
and you have
stop
to go to
someone
the
to
end.
enter.
You have to go to the end of that empty lane and then start going in and start weaving right in and out. So one car goes first and the car
Yeah.
from the other way. But the Canadians, I think they won't go to the end. They'll feel like, oh, there's these other cars who are ahead of me. I'm not going to go ahead of them because that's impolite. So I'm going to wait here and then enter, at the end. So it creates more traffic. You're actually supposed to to reduce traffic. You go to the very end of that lane and then
And then just
and
get
sort of
there. That's
start
it.
interweaving, right? But then Canadians won't do that. So they'll be like, oh, I'm here, and then those other
What?
cars were
So quick.
first before me, so I'm gonna go and then if I go ahead, they'll think I'm rude. So I'm just gonna block traffic here, and then so it ends up being worse than it is.
This
So
is so cute. Hold on. Did you ever get any tickets for bad driving in Canada?
yeah, so I have yeah.
Okay.
So like typically, well, just speeding and stuff, and
The
some
speeding stuff. Okay.
like maybe turning when I'm not supposed to turn, or
Okay.
changing lanes
Well,
when I'm
we're
not
not, of
supposed to
course,
change
we're not
lanes.
talking to drive. What's the word? Like drive opposite direction. You don't do that, guys, in Canada, right? Because people do it in
Oh
different
yeah,
countries, you know?
oh yeah.
Like
Well, I
they,
did
you know,
that
that they, what's the word for it? When you drive but opposite direction than it's supposed to drive.
oncoming traffic or something like that.
Yeah.
You drive into oncoming. Well, I did that in Australia because I'm used to driving the North American
Ah.
way,
And
and then my first few months of driving over there because it's the British, so it's the other side of the
yeah, it
road
was
now.
hard, wasn't it?
And then the driver's side is on the other side, so I took some time to kind of reconfigure
Get used to that.
my brain to. So yeah, like fortunately it was like a small residential road, but it took me like a minute or two to figure out I was actually driving on the wrong side of the road because there's some
But did it like
just go
scares you actually to get into car in Australia and just drive? Were you like
a
kind of
little bit,
scared
yeah,
that you wouldn't be able to
yeah.
go in a good
Absolutely, a little
direction?
bit. Like I'm just so afraid. I was afraid for a little while of driving, like turning into a lane, and suddenly there's like a bus in front of me or a truck
Oh my God.
because I wasn't used to because I wasn't used to that sort of configuration, that reverse configuration. But actually, it never happened. And in fact, it's a little bit more intuitive than you think because since you're on the other side of the car, everything's sort of like the same, but like just on like a mirror image of everything.
So
So like,
I don't know, like
so
I'm not really a driver, but I feel like if you have if you sit in the different part of the car, but then everything, it's I said it's kind of intuitive that you, I don't know, if you're if you are normally on this side and getting closer to that point, that means me when you're sitting on the other side, that you need to get closer to to another part and just stick with the.
it's kind of like that, yeah. So if you're on like if you're driving on the right side of the car, you're still in the middle of the road because then like the
Uh-huh.
driver's always sort of like in the middle of the road, so close to the
Yeah.
median line. So here in North
Okay.
America, you are on the left side, but then your car is on the right, so you're near the middle of the road. In Australia or in other countries that have that sort of configuration, you're on the right side of the car, but then you're driving on the left side of the road, so you're still in the middle of the road. So it's like mirror image, right? So you're just looking for that kind of
Okay.
sort of
So you
natural
still need
spot.
to be focused a lot at one while.
Yeah. Well,
So you
not as
see,
much as I thought it was. Not as much as I thought it was, because you're kind of still supposed to be. You're still in that spot where you feel like you're supposed to be. It's just everything is just the reverse. So once you get
but
used to that a little bit, then it kind of makes sense. Like so there's this sort of like intuitive sense that you get from like driving in one place, and it's just there too, but it's just a mirror image. So kind of hard to explain,
okay.
but
No, I'm not really a driver. That's why it's kind of hard to me. But I don't know.
can
Like I
imagine.
thought, I'm confusing on the. If I have to drive, I'll be confusing
Yeah.
on our things. I'm not even mentioning. No, no, just too
Well, it
much for
is.
me. I'm not a driver, but I'm glad that you never got like a ticket and it never happened to you when you were driving the thing.
Yeah. But the bottom line,
Um,
it is confusing. It is confusing when you can switch sides and stuff like that. And I was confused, and did drive on the wrong side of the road. But fortunately, it was safe, and it was just a residential site, so it never resulted in anything,
nothing
disastrous.
happened. Great, great. But in Philippines, just we are kind of finishing the thing. But Philippines, is it right or left driving?
It's
Uh,
like North America, so we drive on
okay,
the right side. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that a lot of countries have it, like Australia, UK. I don't even know what others have it on the other side of the road. I don't even know what other countries has it
Yeah,
have
like
it.
New Zealand, I think. Singapore,
Ah, New
I think.
Zealand.
Hong Kong, Singapore, and Hong Kong, and Japan. They have it on the
Ah, Japan as well.
like the British. Yeah. So they drive on the left side. They drive on the left side of the road.
Well, whenever you want to come to Europe, a part of UK, you all here drive your like left
Yeah,
side. So
yeah,
no worries, you can totally do that.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
Cesar, so we're finishing our episodes of Canada, but I usually ask people to say something like in their own language, but because your language is English and because you speak so many other languages, so we want to hear, can you say us something I forgot again the name of the
Oh,
Philippines
Tagalog.
language? The
Oh,
Tagalog. Can
Tagalog.
you say something
Tagalog, yeah.
Tagalog?
So in Tagalog, you can say salamat, which is thank you.
Salamat.
Salamat is
Salamat.
thank you. Mhm.
And can you
Thank
say
you.
like
Yeah.
do you know it like well to just speak in Tagalog or not that bad, not that
Yeah,
good?
I can
Like
speak. Yeah, I can speak fluently. Yeah,
can you
Tagalog.
just say something? Please some nice stuff, but like like just keep talking in the stuff because you want to hear how it sounds.
Um, so maraming salamat sa inyo. So thank you very much to all of you. Maraming
So
salamat sa inyo.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, I'm not gonna even repeat it because it's too difficult. It wasn't difficult. I know because it was your language you learned from your parents, so it wasn't because
That's right.
you
Yeah.
learned it as you were a kid. It's not that you had to
So
learn it.
no.
What
So
letters? Do you have like
Tagalog.
Latin letters or you have other letters?
Yeah, it's Latin letters. Yeah, like
Okay.
this is like an old script from hundreds of years ago. That's kind of Sanskrit based, so similar to like Indian script.
Uh-huh.
But nobody uses that anymore. So all the writing
It's
now is
Latin
in
letters.
Roman letters. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay, Cesar, it was so nice to have you here. Thank you very
Well,
much for the
likewise.
conversation. Thank you for telling us about Canada and about actually three countries, Canada, a bit of Australia, and a bit of
Yeah.
Philippines.
Sorry.
Maybe we can do one some Philippine episode, but it will be like a
Sure.
different topic if you would like to participate again.
Sure. Yeah.
Um,
Happy to.
yeah, so thank you very much. Have a very
Thank
nice
you so
Sunday.
much.
As the Sunday for you is just starting, for me it's finishing already.
So, yeah. You gotta do
So
some
enjoy
snow
your snow
shoveling.
outside. Enjoy your snow outside.
Yeah.
And yeah, sorry. I just had it just happened to me that I got like entrance call, and I was thinking, it never happened to me, and I was thinking, can I actually reject call while I'm having live on the Instagram? I thought, oh my god, what if it happens? And it just happened, and I just rejected. It's fine, so I
I
can
think
do
you can
it.
say reject. Yeah. I think you
Yeah,
can say
I just
reject.
rejected. Okay. Thank you
Okay.
very much for your time, for
Likewise.
being here. Thank you very much, people who were watching and asking questions. And it was very nice to see you and sending you big hug, big hug, big kiss to you and to everyone. And have a lovely evening or day, depends where you are.
Likewise. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.